First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop
Nation
USA Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hop Nation USA. This is episode 84. This is the post-Halloween episode, which means I am currently wearing lounge pants because I have eaten way too much candy. I don't feel like moving, and Steve had to convince me to get over here to the microphone. You know how he got it?
How did I do it, Adam?
Snickers bars.
Oh, okay.
You dangled a Snickers bar in front of my face and said, "Hey, fatty, get over here. We're doing a podcast." And I said, "Yeah, okay."
See, I thought it was going to be you're going to tie it into the theme.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Speaking of which, you know what I discovered is one of the best things ever?
What's that?
Fat guy touchdowns.
Fat guy touchdowns? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are the best.
Yeah, you get a lot of fat guy touchdowns in college football.
Yeah.
Not that I watch it a lot, but I do see them on the Reddit.
Everybody loves fat guy touchdowns. I don't know anybody that doesn't. So, in honor of our brethren, how should I put it? The ample gentleman.
Don't try to steal my gimmick and put yourself into my category. You're not fat.
All right. Husky?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go husky.
You're husky. You're like a grown husky child.
Wait a minute.
So I'm just saying, I'm sure if Oshkosh Bagosh made clothes in your size, they would be size husky.
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair. I'll buy that for $1.
I'm just a fat piece of shit.
All right. I will agree that I am not a fat piece of shit.
Right.
Okay. All right. The one on the mic that you're hearing that is not a fat piece of shit is Adam, one of your fabulous hosts here on Hop Nation USA. And the other gentleman that you heard, who is actually not a fat piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're not.
No.
You're not. You're actually a good fella.
No, inside.
No, that's Nougat.
Nah, I kind of like Nougat. He's got that one song, Stranglehold. It's pretty decent.
Ted Nougat. Ah, damn it. That's Steve, by the way, a.k.a. Ted Nougat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wango
welcome.
Z Tango. That's my new chocolate bar. All right.
Yeah.
Moving along.
This is the post-Halloween episode, so of course we have to talk about post-Halloween beers. So we are talking chocolate beers.
Yeah, basically, if you're a parent listening to this podcast, then you've probably been dipping into your kid's candy bin.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're a fat piece of shit like myself, then you've made your trip to the grocery store to buy some discount candy.
That's right. And us husky boys, just take a couple of pieces here and there in the office just to get through the day.
Make your rounds, dip into everybody's candy dish.
Be friendly.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Frank? Things are fine. Oh, look at that. 3 Musketeers.
Yoink.
Thank you.
Why don't we get in to our first chocolate beer of the evening?
Yes, and this comes from Evil Genius Beer Company. I think they're out of Maryland somewhere.
No.
They are out of Pennsylvania somewhere.
Yeah. That's a Philadelphia brewery,
I know.
my dude.
Yeah. Pittston, as a matter of fact.
It is.
Yeah. I have no idea why I had Evil Genius in Maryland. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that is 100% incorrect. They are a Keystone brewery, and we are going to have a chocolate hazelnut imperial stout called I'll Have What She's Having. Yes, after the famous Billy Crystal movie, A League of Their Own.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
City Slickers 2. Legend of Curly's Gold. Stink.
But it was actually from When Harry Met Sally. Everybody knows that scene. Everybody knows the response. It's an American classic. And now there's a beer.
Yeah. Now there's a beer name for it.
So this is an imperial stout or a double imperial stout, depending on who you ask. Comes in at 9.4% ABV.
Ooh.
And this is the Sidney Crosby of beers because it comes in at 87 IBUs.
Ah, neat.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me, and I don't know if they released this information into the ether, but can you tell me how the chocolate was introduced or used in the product?
Well, they met at a party.
I know.
And then over a game of a flip cup,
No.
they were the anchors of their respective teams.
No Philadelphia.
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know that it's an imperial stout with chocolate and hazelnut.
Okay, fair enough.
That's it.
Yeah. We'll get into that in segment 2 about how chocolate can be used and brewed.
I must apologize, Steve. I almost drank this straight from the bottle. Kind of a habit. Whoops.
Cut it out, fatty.
I'm husky.
Now, there's not much use in us really talking about the color. It's going to be all stouts tonight. They all are going to look like chocolate stouts.
They're all big boys with a tan head.
Yeah, granted, I mean, if something looks crazy, we'll point it out, but just
Come on.
for the rest of the episode, just imagine stouts.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And I don't think we're stretching the imagination with that information.
No.
Certainly smells like a chocolate stout.
Yeah, on the nose, there is some chocolatey-ness to it.
Mm-hmm. I don't get much on the hazelnut.
Neither do I. And you know what? Hazelnut is one of the hardest ingredients. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. Maybe they just never put enough in, and maybe because it's expensive or something.
And they're dried. That's why they're so hard.
Jesus. But hazelnut's one of the hardest. Like I never taste a really good hazelnut flavor.
Right, neither have I.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is the StoutOdd by Knee Deep Brewing.
Okay.
That one actually has it.
Nice.
But
So do they actually use a quote-unquote hazelnut spread, or do they just use a whole shit ton of hazelnuts?
you know what? I can't remember, and they might actually use both.
Okay.
I'll just say both.
All right.
Whatever it is that they do use, though, it actually imparts enough of the flavor.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm thinking of the Rogue Hazelnutty Fantabulicious or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
something like that, but I don't taste any hazelnut in that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can taste some hazelnut in this one.
I get a lot of chocolate.
It's good. It's good. This is definitely a winter beer.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the start of stout season, I guess.
Oh, we're definitely into
Can
it.
we call that?
Yeah. I mean, we're in November now.
Well, yeah, we're in November now, so I think it's like immediately as soon as the temperature dips below 50 once, stout weather.
Stout weather.
I mean, for the Rustians. For me,
it's always stout weather.
with the exception of like July and August.
And even then, if you're in an air-conditioned room for a while,
Oh, yeah.
and you know you're not going outside,
Oh yeah.
you can crack one open.
Right.
It's okay. But back to this beer, I'll have what she's having by Evil Genius out of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Pretty good beer.
Yeah, it's a little bit dry on the finish, but not terribly dry.
It is, but I've come to kind of expect that
Yeah.
with a chocolate stout.
Really, because it's not a common thing. I don't think.
I've come to expect it.
Okay. All right, you've come to expect it.
And the reason is, when it doesn't happen, I'm pleasantly surprised.
All right, fine. Yeah, but it is kind of a little bit dry on the finish.
Mhm.
I like the sweetness of it. Like it's pretty sweet up front, but then it tapers off into a little bit of a chocolate bitterness at the end.
Mhm.
I like that.
And it does have what they claim to be 87 IBUs. Now, we've talked about this multiple times, how IBUs don't matter. But there's no hoppiness to this beer. It's not a beer that's trying to be, a hoppy stout or anything bullshitty like that. I think it's just that big of a beer that it has that big a number.
Yeah, you got it right. Like the IBUs in this are offsetting the fact that it is a 9.4, you said?
Correct, 9.4.
Yeah, it's a 9.4 Imperial. Those IBUs are just simply offsetting everything else.
Yeah, it's just that everything in this beer is big because it's a big beer.
Right. It's keeping it from tasting like undrinkable chocolate syrup.
Yeah, yeah. I would say it's fairly well balanced in that.
Yeah,
regard.
no, it totally is. It totally is, and it has like a nice thick mouthfeel to it as well. So yeah, I dig this beer. I'm okay with moving on.
So, what else do you dig, Steve?
Holes.
Didn't they make a movie about that once?
Son of a ditch digger.
What about a grave digger?
Man, I wish I was son of the driver of Gravedigger.
So you can also drive grave digger,
Exactly.
and then you can just have the monster truck, son of a digger.
Right.
Yeah,
There was Son of Gravedigger for a while, wasn't there?
I think it still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't know.
I think it exists. I think there is a son of a digger out there. We'll check during the break.
Well, I just remember it back in the 90s because there was Gravedigger,
Gravedigger.
and then there was Son of Gravedigger.
Okay.
But I think maybe, as Monster Jam has abated in popularity, they may have just consolidated back to Gravedigger.
No, but I think they've gone bigger because now the Dennis Anderson's son is now of an age that he can operate the monster truck. I think they got him his own ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there
All
you
right.
go.
Well, whatever.
We'll check in with Kill Devil Hills. We'll see what's up.
We'll fact check our monster truck facts for next segment. Coming up, monster truck facts. The one thing I did want to get into, though, is I just wanted to give a couple shout outs to our listeners because last month, October, was our best month ever as far as listenership.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, like best month ever. It's even quadrupled some other months. So
Yeah.
good on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to some of our listeners, especially some certain ones that have been like helping the show or, really digging into the show. We have one listener, Katie T. She's been really into the show. She's started at number 1 and then just binged us all the way up. Depending on when she listens, she might actually be caught up.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But when she does, we would like to say thank you. She has definitely helped us out. She's actually sourced some beers for us that we've had on the show and will have on the show.
Basically, she's going to provide beers that are going to cover a cream ale episode.
Yeah.
For Adam, so that's
Yeah, and I appreciate that. That is a niche market that I have wanted to cover for quite some time.
Yeah.
Haven't done it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get there. So Adam's, you had your little falter on the Hefeweizen episode, but we'll
Yeah.
we'll come back with a cream ale and we'll give you another shot.
Damn right.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Mario out of Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
I also think she's digging her way all the way up from 1 to now.
Starting at the bottom, now we here.
Yeah, but for a while, we didn't have any listenership in Rhode Island, and then she downloaded the entire catalog.
She just spiked us.
Yeah. Then I also want to give a shout out to a listener in the Netherlands by the name of Tina Rogers. She runs the O10 beer blog. She gave us a pretty nice, little shout out on her beer blog,
Yes, greatly appreciated.
exposing us to Europe in a whole, I guess, and Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Then just general shout outs to Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
That's our,
As a whole,
as a whole, Sweden as a whole. They're our number 1 not U.S. country as a listener. Like if you're not the U.S., you did the most listening in the Sweden.
right.
And then, the U.K. is our number 2. So good on them. And then I just want to give a shout out to Maryland.
Maryland, the Terrapins.
Yes.
Okay.
Maryland is, if you remove Pennsylvania, which is obviously our number 1 listenership
Right.
state, and you remove California and New York because those are obvious because they're trendy and they have people who sit on commutes and listen to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maryland.
And then we got Maryland in there.
Maryland is actually very close behind New York
And-
as one of our top listenership states.
And we do appreciate that. Side note, they have a pretty neat flag.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Check it out. Wikipedia that shit.
It's actually pretty neat. There's a very interesting story behind it. I don't know what it is, but I know that there's an interesting story behind it.
Right on, Wikipedia that shit.
And then email us at hopnationusa@gmail.com and tell us what that story is.
Go ahead and email us anything you want. If you want to email us questions or tell us why you deserve a shout out on the show, and then we'll give you one, probably.
Yeah.
We ain't got much going on. We're, we're cool dudes.
That's right.
We'll give you a shout out. But yeah, that's what I got. And just wanted to thank everybody who's been listening because things seem to be on the uptrend and hopefully they stay that way.
Definitely.
Yes.
And I would also like to thank the good people in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh craft beer community,
Yes.
who have been helping us out.
Yes.
Either coming on the show or just talking to us in general or just,
Yeah.
interacting with us on social media, things like that, or just being general good people.
Yeah.
I would like to thank them.
Yeah, we got a good community of people, especially, in general, but, also especially for craft beer.
Right. So, yeah, thanks.
So, let's move it on to the news and notes.
Would you like news or would you like notes first?
Give me news.
Okay. Here's what's up. Brew Dog,
Brew Dog.
the Scottish brewery
Also in Columbus.
that has a brewery in Columbus,
Yeah.
is starting their own airline.
Yeah, I think I saw. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one.
I saw a little blurb about it, but I didn't know the full story. So please share this with me. I was actually interested about it.
So Brew Dog is turning into the Hooters of craft beer.
Yeah. The Hooters, or are they turning into the Ryanair of bars?
So maybe both. Because you look at Hooters, and obviously they have all the restaurants.
Yeah.
Plus, for a time, well, actually, they still have a hotel.
Right.
There's a Hooters hotel in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then there was Hooters Air for a while.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Brew Dog has
A hotel and an
a
airline.
hotel and an airline.
Okay, so yeah, that's more apt. Yeah.
Yeah, they are the Hooters of craft beer.
So where is it going to fly? I imagine it's only flying in England areas.
No.
Oh, okay.
It is an international flight.
Huh.
Airline is a bit of a misnomer.
Okay.
It's one plane.
All right.
But you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. But you could charter a flight from London
Okay.
to Columbus. The beautiful city of Columbus.
I mean, hey, that's cool.
It makes sense.
No,
I get it.
I mean, it makes sense. It's just funny, like.
This on the surface.
Yeah, just on the surface. It's like when I'm thinking of people who are traveling from London, like where would they like to go?
Columbus is not even cracking the top 100.
Just Ohio in general. And I'm sorry, Ohio, but how you is Flatlanders.
Right. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah, they're able to charter a flight with up to 240 passengers that will fly you from London to Columbus, where, of course, you can stay at a particular hotel.
Right.
The Brew Dog Hotel in Columbus, Ohio. Fancy that. And then you can have, I believe it is a 4-night stay
Yeah.
in Columbus
Yeah.
to go tour the breweries
Right.
in Columbus and then fly back home.
Huh.
They are...
Isn't that some Andrew Carnegie vertical integration shit there?
Yeah, I want it all.
We got you the plane to get there. We got you the room to stay in. We got you the beer to...
Pretty much. So it's interesting in that, of course, they're going to have craft beer on the plane.
Yeah, of course.
And so you're going to be able to have... My question is it going to be like U.S. Air, where you get half a cup of beer, or is it going to be like Hooters Air, where you just get it thrown in your face for 8 hours?
See, that's an interesting question, because you said that plane was like 240 something capacity.
Somewhere in that area.
So
correct.
that's actually a pretty big plane.
It is.
It's not like a private.
Right. You're looking 737.
Yeah.
Maybe an Airbus A380 somewhere in that arena.
Did they make any mention if they're going to have kegs on?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. But it's over international waters, so
Yeah.
you can have monkey knife fights and nobody's going to care.
Oh, yeah. I wonder, there might be like that period of time where it's like the seatbelt belt light,
Yeah.
but there's like another light that they shut off, and that's how you know it's go time to start really drinking.
When the light gets to here, that means it's drinking time.
Yeah, it's like, look, you got 2 hours to get blitzed.
Right.
And then we're going to wean you off so that by the time you land, you can get off.
Right. Yeah. You can get out of the airport. You can shuffle out and not be anybody's problem here.
Yeah. The only way I could see them just letting you get like blitzed for the entire flight if it was more like a private flight, and then they had a shuttle that came from the hotel.
That
to pick
vertical
you up-
integration.
Yeah, to pick you up on the tarmac.
Like not even to go into the terminal.
No, you don't.
Oh.
No, yeah, that's why I was thinking. That's why when you said it was like a bigger plane, I was like, oh, okay, so it's not a private flight.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it is chartered.
Right.
You
It's,
can't
it's
charter.
chartered. Yeah, it's chartered because it's going to make that direct flight, and
Right.
it's, go
Right.
do that all the time.
I have a hunch that there ain't much business between Columbus and London. Throwing that out there. Not
Hey.
hating, just saying.
Hey, wait a minute. That's us. We're between Columbus and London.
You just played yourself, Hop Nation.
Idiots. That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, I appreciate that they're trying new things.
Just one last question about this. Is there something for like the other way around? Like leaving Columbus to go to London?
I think that's more of just as a direct flight home.
Okay.
I think
Because I thought they were opening another hotel in Scotland or something.
They might be.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll check into it during the break.
Yeah. Well, okay. I let me rephrase that. I know they're opening another hotel in Scotland, and I think it'll come out later. I was just thinking, are they opening a third hotel is what I was getting at.
Gotcha. So they can capture
somewhere in London. Yeah.
that Columbus market
Right.
going to
Right.
London.
Yeah. I just gave them another idea.
That's right. We want 10%.
Give me that money.
Steve gets 6, I get 4.
Give me that punk IPA money. Well, we're going to have to do an episode on them soon.
Yeah. We've talked about them enough.
We talked about them enough, and I actually have a porter of theirs sitting in my damn fridge.
Oh.
And I just keep forgetting,
You got a deep bench.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And next time I go out to vintage.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, I got a little quick hitter of a news story.
Sure.
I don't think it's necessarily, I don't know. I don't know we need to talk about it that much.
More notes than news?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Brewers Association is again changing the definition of craft beer.
To the surprise of absolutely no one.
Yeah. They call it a living document. I call it goalpost moving.
I call it, hey, Sam Adams, how big are you going to be next year?
Well, actually, it's kind of the reverse about how big they're going to be.
Okay.
Well, if you remember, last time we reported on this, Yuengling was now the biggest beer producer.
That is true. That is true.
And the Boston Beer Company has, again, reported a little bit of a shrinkage.
Really?
Yeah, in the beer side.
Huh.
What they're not losing out on, though, is Angry Orchard
Yeah.
and Twisted Tea.
Wait. Boston Beer Company owns Twisted Tea?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, now you do. So the new change is the Brewers Association. They have 3 listings: small, independent, and traditional.
Right.
Those are your 3 classifications. You have to make under 6 million barrels. You have to own the majority of your brewery. So it has to be less than 25% of ownership coming from outside sources. And traditional, meaning you have to brew in a traditional method.
Right.
It has to be beer.
Right.
They're now looking to remove traditional.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're looking to get like cider houses into it, or and possibly a kombucha company. Not that there's any big ones.
Right. They're saying it's according to their survey that they sent out that a lot of brewers out there are they're into trying to brew ciders and meads and things that are outside of the realm of traditional beer.
Okay.
So about over half the members reporting back on the survey said that. And then nearly half were saying that they were going to be interested in brewing drinks with CBD and THC.
Okay.
When that becomes an available option within their state.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. But because of that, they're looking to drop that traditional and allow breweries to be more inclusive. They're trying to be more inclusive for independent brewers, really.
I see what they're trying to do, but at what point do you stop?
Exactly, because at some point you gotta say somebody who's making more cider than beer
Is a cider house.
is a cider house.
It's not a brewery.
Yeah, it's not a craft beer brewery,
Right.
and you're calling that a craft beer brewery over Founders.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too.
So, interesting times we live in.
It's goalpost moving. I'm not personally, and this is why I don't think we need to talk about it too much, but personally, I don't really care what their definition of craft beer is anymore.
Right.
Because they introduced the independent label. That's way more important to
Yes.
people, I think.
Yes.
So I don't really care what you're producing as long as it's done independently.
To those that care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, to even those who care whether it's independent or owned by.
And that's probably a small portion of the market anyways. Are people that would look for that label or look for that logo
Right.
in the first place.
Right. I just don't care about their definition anymore.
Right.
I keep it. I have my own personal definition, and
Same.
my definition basically goes, I know it when I see it.
Yes. Yes.
To quote a justice,
I know it when I see it.
ruling on an obscenity pornography case. I know it when I see it.
So, yeah, we'll just have to keep track of that a little bit. We'll wait until
Or not.
episode, what is this, 84? So,
Yeah.
86, 136 when we come around again.
Yeah, 136. We'll come around again, see if Boston Beer Company is now strictly ciders.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the Twisted Tea Company, formerly known as Boston Beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Who
So,
cares?
back to a Pennsylvania beer. Oh, did you know that Sam Adams is brewing a beer to celebrate the Boston Red Sox World Series championship?
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. Well, exactly, but they are. That's all. They are.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. I'm surprised, like, Harpoon isn't in on that as well.
Yeah.
Were they too busy putting their dick in Dunkin' Donuts?
Dinkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts? No. It's just Dunkin' now. No donuts.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. But yes, back to this Pennsylvania beer. It's good.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's not much else to really say about it that we haven't already said. It's drinkable. It's heavy.
It's chocolatey.
It's chocolatey. I still think I'm missing the hazelnut, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, if you don't quite, if it's hard to get it in there in the first place, is that really what people are looking for? Hazelnut versus chocolate? I think chocolate is going to be the bigger draw anyways.
Yeah, this is still better than just like plain chocolate beers. Like a lot of plain chocolate beers. So yeah.
It's a good ass beer.
Yeah, it's good ass beer.
Hey, Evil Genius, quote us. Put it on the beer bottle.
They just might, because I don't know if you've ever read the label, but they have their website listed, which is evilgenius.beer. And then under it, there's parentheses that say, hell yeah, that's our website, .beer, not .com.
Nice. Nice. So, Evil Genius, get at us.
That's a good one for you.
We'll get on your label.
Yeah. It's a good ass beer.
That's right. We'll make you famous.
Make you famous to the Netherlands and Sweden.
Taking you international.
Take you international. Go up against that Omnipolo.
All right, Hop Nation, we'll be right back after we don't get paid.
Bye.
Check this out. There's a Seattle company called Devore that enables discovery of new and exciting beers and breweries. Devore gets the best independent beer from literally around the world. Denmark, New Zealand, Belgium, and of course everywhere in the US. The app is incredibly simple to use to get some ridiculously good beers delivered right to your door.
And right now, anyone who signs up with the code HOPNATION can save $10 off their order of over $25. That's TAVOUR.com, Devore.
Welcome back, Hop Nation, to episode 84 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. This is, of course, the Antonio Brown episode.
Sporty Man reference.
There we go. We got it covered.
You did the thing.
Yes, yes. We have checked the box. Speaking of checking, we went back to Hop Nation Central. We had the interns look up whether or not there is a Son of a Digger. Guess what? The Son of a Digger monster truck exists, and it actually debuted in 2011.
Oh.
At the Monster Jam World Finals in 2011, and it is piloted by Ryan Anderson, son of Dennis Anderson.
Okay.
So there is a Son of a Digger.
Okay.
Monster truck.
I just feel like there was a different Gravedigger for a while, but maybe...
There might be.
Yeah.
There might be.
But okay, so you're telling me, but there's two running right now. Dennis and Ryan are still...
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Yep. All right.
Yes.
Man, whatever happened to Bigfoot, though? Why don't they bring that back?
So here's what happened. Is the entity that runs Monster Jam has tried...
Monster Jam!
You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Yeah.
Kids' seats are still just $5.
See Travis Pastrana in the seer of death. Whatever it is. The motorcycles go around.
The murder cycles.
Murder cycles. Metal militia.
There it is. So they have tried to bring in Bigfoot into the Monster Jam. However, they have kind of tried to separate themselves for whatever reason, whether it's contractual with Ford or Matchbox or whoever it was, but they don't want anything to do with it. And I think they've kind of killed themselves in terms of the general American scope of life. Yeah. Americana. Because back in the 80s and 90s, that was the monster truck. Was Bigfoot.
Right.
Everybody knew who Bigfoot was.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids, they don't know.
No, they don't know.
No, they'll go for Max D before they go for Bigfoot.
Goddamn kids.
I know.
So what you're telling me, it's kind of like when Sting didn't go to the WWF.
Exactly.
After WCW
He tried to stick around with his old guard who brought him up kind of thing.
Right.
And screwed himself.
All right.
Yeah, so Bob Chandler is the Sting of monster trucks.
Okay. I get it.
All right.
I get it now. Put it in the terms of a fake sport and I get
it. How to explain one fake sport with another fake sport.
Wait, you're telling me that shit rigged too? You're telling me the Goldberg truck didn't win all those Monster Jams legitimately?
I guess that brings up an interesting question of would Monster Jam be considered a sport?
If it's not predetermined, then yes.
Okay, and I don't believe it is. I
don't know. You've put the doubt in my mind because the Goldberg truck had that streak while Goldberg had a streak. And that seems like good cross promotion.
That is true. I don't know. I will give credit to the drivers.
Yeah,
they have been upping the ante in the last 5 years. Have you watched some of the shit that monster truck drivers are doing nowadays?
Yeah, some motherfucker did a front flip.
I know.
You can't do front flip in a fucking truck.
Well, apparently you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is ridiculous what they're doing with those trucks now.
Yeah, even if you're not into it, just like go on YouTube, watch a compilation. It's
right.
good for you.
It's like watching Fat Guy Touchdowns.
Yeah, Fat Guy Touchdowns.
Everything comes back to Fat Guy Touchdowns.
I've seen a truck wheelie and wobble in such a way, like he wheelied it and then he walked it back.
Yeah.
In such a way that it looked like a fat guy running for a touchdown.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'll count it. I'll count it.
Same thing. All right.
Way off the rails.
Yeah, let's rein it back in. Just like most white trash conversation we've ever had.
Started.
I know. I'm just saying. We're talking about wrestling and monster trucks. Like that's the most white trash conversation we've ever had. We talked about wrestling, but we never mixed it with it.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh. All right. Let's talk about Oscar Mayer baloney now.
No baloney. No, we talk chip chop ham here.
Some Isleys.
Chip chop. All right. Second beer of the evening.
Yes.
Chocolate beers, as the theme is, because that's what everybody's stuffing their face with post Halloween. So this beer is coming from Oddside Ales out of Grand Haven, Michigan.
And we've obviously had Oddside on the show before.
Yes, and that's why they're back, because they were pretty good.
There you go. Good enough reason for me.
Yeah, you can go back. We did a full episode on Oddside. So this beer is called the Mayan Mocha Stout.
Oh.
So
Tell me more.
It is a stout with coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, and habanero.
Really? We're back in that habanero area.
Back in the habanero game. Because
Okay.
it's meant to mimic the Mexican hot chocolate drink.
Yes. Okay.
Which they like to spice it up a bit.
So kind of like the Zocovesa?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're looking
By
at something.
Stone.
Yeah, we're looking at something in the realm of the Zocovesa or the one I just brewed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But this one is brewed with the habanero peppers. I don't believe Zocovesa uses habaneros. I think it uses anchos like we did.
Correct. I don't believe they're habanero either. They might even. Would it be a mole chili?
It might be. Yeah, it might even be something
Somewhere in that arena.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah. Regardless.
But it's not even as hot as the jalapeno for the Zocovesa. So this one might have a little bit of spice with. I looked into it, and they apparently use Dutch chocolate powder
Okay.
into the beer, but they didn't say when.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You answered the question I was just about to ask.
And it's a 6.5 alcohol.
Good.
Yes.
Not used?
No word.
Okay. So, I'll be real quick on the explanation of how this looks. Take the last one. Up the brightness by 10%. There you go.
Take the dodge tool. If you're a Photoshopper, give it a once over.
There you go. That's it.
Ooh, wow. Smell it.
Interesting.
Like I said, it has cinnamon and nutmeg. So
Yeah, I'm getting
and peppers. So like it, yeah. You don't get a lot of chocolate.
No, I was expecting it to be a lot more full-bodied in that smell. I'm going to go a little snooty on this one. You like that? With my snooter. But it's definitely got a lot more of that spiciness in terms of the cinnamon and the nutmeg.
Yeah, I don't
not
smell the
necessarily
habanero.
the pepper. No. But interesting.
Yeah, it definitely just has kind of that. Like, there's a little bit of chocolatiness to it. Like, you can tell it's a stout versus, like a pale ale or something like that.
Agreed.
But, yeah, it's mostly cinnamon on the nose.
Huh.
Taste those.
I can definitely taste the cinnamon.
I taste the cinnamon. I get the heat creeps.
Get the heat creeps.
Yeah, I get the heat creeps. Like, it's not very spicy at all.
It is not.
But it creeps up the back of my throat. Yeah.
To me, the cinnamon is the prevailing taste here.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. I actually get... Oh, there's the creep. Up the back of the throat.
Yeah, this one's up the back of the throat.
Yeah. And
It's very interesting how, like, these peppers react differently and how they, like, not necessarily burn you,
right.
but they touch different parts.
Where on the throat did the pepper touch you?
In the back.
Let the record show.
He pointed to his trachea.
What I find interesting on this beer is not necessarily the mouthfeel, but the film that is left over, you know how sometimes you get a little film?
Right.
It tastes like I ate cinnamon.
Yeah.
Like a cinnamon-laden whatever.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of fresh cinnamon was poured on top. I kind of get that it's not grainy, but that kind of powdery feel.
Yeah. I get what you mean, especially like as a film, I think. And again, we've talked about this, and I'm going to touch on it in the actual segment.
Okay.
But peppers have that oil, and oil always kills the head retention.
Yeah.
Like head retention was pretty much nil on this one.
Right.
And so I think mixing chocolate and peppers can lead to having a little bit more oil, like a little bit more oil, a little bit more fat.
Okay.
But overall, I don't know. It doesn't bother me or anything. It's not very bad with this beer.
Right. That film I was talking about, it's not. It's just different.
Right.
It's not bad. It's just different.
Yeah. I will say this: it does taste a little thin.
I agree. It was certainly not as full-bodied as the evil genius. I'll have what she's having.
And that just might be because that was a big Imperial 9.4.
Yeah.
And then we've dropped down to 6.5.
Right. We're back into regular beer territory.
Yeah.
Instead of dealing with this monster truck over here.
Right. And so that might be why this one feels a little more thin. But I kind of notice it.
Right.
Overall, though,
It's not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad
overall,
by
I
any
enjoy it.
stretch.
Yeah.
Odd side continues the streak.
yeah. Overall, I enjoy it. So,
Yes.
the segment for this week,
Yes.
I wanted to get back to some of our home brewing roots.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. And I figured chocolate was a good way to do that because chocolate is a pretty popular ingredient.
That's one of the first things that people usually try to add whenever they start
Yeah.
home brewing.
Yeah.
I know that was one thing we did first.
We did it. Sam and Chris, they did it.
Yep.
So most people we know who have brewed with chocolate.
Right.
So I figured maybe we can give some guidelines and some help on how to do that.
And possibly what not to do.
Yeah, maybe a little bit not what to do. First, though, just a little quick history, and it actually ties into the beer pretty well.
Okay.
But you know where chocolate comes from, right?
The cocoa leaf.
Well,
plant.
yeah, it comes from the cacao plant.
Yes.
But cacao plants are from
South America. Central America.
Well,
Africa.
Mexico,
West Indies.
Mexico, and
Dairy
Central.
Queen.
Not Dairy Queen. Mexico and Central America and
right.
South America. Chocolate was first discovered in the pre-colonization Mexican American and Central American areas.
Okay.
And they discovered it by brewing beer.
Really?
Yes. So
Explain yourself.
So the chicken or the egg situation is that beer actually invented chocolate. And
Very interesting.
yeah, what it was found, and this is going back to pots with ancient things that are scraped off the pots and
Similar to what we talked about a few episodes ago about finding the oldest
Right.
brewery.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. That's how they found it, was scraping pots and
scraping
holes.
pots. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they found pots that were in the Central America area, and I believe it was actually kind of Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Colombia that they found these pots. But what they found was a version of chicha.
What is chicha? I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah. So Dogfish Head put out that beer.
That's that spit beer.
That's that spit
That
beer.
damn spit beer
So remember, chicha doesn't always have to be spit beer.
will always be spit beer in my mind.
It's just kind of what they called it. There's a lot of versions of it. Dogfish Head chose to go the spit beer route, but they found versions of chicha that were made by fermenting the cacao fruit.
Okay.
What they found, not the scientists, but the early indigenous people, they found that if you grind up fermented seeds, that's how you get chocolate.
Okay.
So then they took the chocolate and reintroduced it into just regular beer.
Ah, okay.
So it's a weird cycle. They started by making their spit beer.
Damn spit beer.
And I assume this just came about by they're just throwing whatever fruit in.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying fruits. Like, does this one taste good with it? Does corn taste good?
Right.
Corn's all right.
It's a wild time.
Yeah. How about this other thing, this cacao thing? Cacao works
Yeah, we
too.
can get there.
Oh, but wait, you eat the seeds and that's chocolate? That's good too.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, so they were putting the ground up seeds into just regular beer recipes to make kind of to make an early chocolate beer.
Okay.
And then they just kind of decided, oh yeah, we can just eat this by itself too.
So it was kind of like the cookie dough to the cookie,
Yeah.
where it didn't quite make it to the heat.
Yeah, some people couldn't wait to put it into the beer.
All right.
But yeah, that's kind of the early findings of chocolate and beer, and that's why they go together. And of course, we're drinking the Mayan Mocha Stout, so
That seems apropos.
everything ties together. But here in 2018, we have a lot of more choices on brewing style,
Yes.
introduction,
Yes.
and what we introduce.
The types of chocolate.
Yeah. So I'm going to start by giving you just kind of the 3 ways we introduce chocolate into a beer. This is kind of simple home brewer level shit, but you know, I'll give you the effectiveness
Okay.
of how it works. So you can add chocolate in at the mash.
Okay.
You can do that, but that's going to be the least amount of sweetness and the least amount of aroma.
Okay.
If you do it that way, it does add an earthy tone to it, but pretty much every other characteristic is kind of lost.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the most effective ways to introduce it is actually in the boil.
Okay.
Again, if you introduce it like too early, like if you're doing a 60-minute boil and you start throwing chocolate in at 60 minutes, it's going to basically have the same effect as if you threw it in the mash. What you really want to shoot for is after the 15-minute mark.
Okay.
That's the best way to retain flavors and aromas. We'll get into why the boil is more common than fermentation. Fermentation, you can obviously do it as well.
Yes.
And that's actually the best way to get the best aromas and flavors.
All right.
You know, they say secondary. So like even after fermentation.
So it sounds very, very similar to hop additions.
Yes.
If you want big aroma, you do it, during fermentation. If you're looking for the taste, things like that.
A little more boil, a little more fermentation.
Right.
Yeah, it's very similar in usage. What it really comes down to, though, is the way the chocolate is processed.
That was a question I was going to get into.
Yeah.
Because there are obviously different types of chocolate.
Right.
Do you go with the Hershey's milk chocolate? Do you go with a high cacao?
Yeah.
Do you go with just baker's chocolate?
Right.
What do you go for?
Well, I mean, you can use all of the ones you listed, but they have different kind of pitfalls to using them.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to get into about using chocolate, and the thing that everybody should know, you want to avoid processed chocolates as much as possible.
I have made that mistake.
Okay, so you've made the mistake.
I have made this mistake, and it turned out to be
Okay.
just a bad beer.
So, yeah, in general, when you use processed chocolates, is they have a lot of fat in them.
Yep.
Yeah, and especially the more processed it is, the more fat it contains. You can even have so much fat in it that it causes like a layer of scum and separation.
Ugh.
Is that what you?
We didn't have it that bad.
Okay.
But it was just a very it wasn't to the execution that I was expecting. It didn't have that chocolatey taste to it.
Yeah.
It didn't have that chocolatey aroma. It was just kind of bitter.
So
And
what did you guys actually use, and when did you introduce it?
Well, you were involved in it too.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. You were there. It was a chocolate stout.
Yeah.
We used Hershey's dark chocolate.
I don't remember this.
It was early in our careers.
Okay.
And mashed it up, put it in a hot bag, a steeping bag,
Okay.
and then put it in the fermentation for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did turn out well.
Well-
And it was a bitch to get out.
Yeah. So that's the one big pitfall that I'm going to tell you about is you can use processed chocolates if you want.
Uh-huh.
Not in the way you just described them.
I know this
yeah,
now.
well, you know this, but we're telling the audience.
Telling the world.
Yeah, telling people don't do that. So, yes, you can use things like candy bars and chocolate chips, even Hershey's syrup, but all of those things have to go in the boil.
Is that so you can get rid of the fats?
Yes.
Gotcha.
That will help cut down the fats and the oils. You do have to be careful, though, when you're doing that stuff because you want to make sure when you introduce it into the boil, obviously syrup is easy to kind of introduce into the boil, but with like if you're using a full candy bar, break it down. If you're using baker's chocolate, chop it up. You want it as easy to introduce. You even want to maybe melt it beforehand because the one thing that can happen is you introduce it into the boil and it doesn't boil right away like a dry DME would.
Right.
It just sinks to the bottom and scorches your pot.
And it turns into a bitch to clean.
Right. Then you have like a really shitty tasting beer and a goddamn cleanup mess. So yeah, you can use all those things, but it's always recommended to use them in the boil. Most people recommend only using like plain chocolate bars, not getting anything fancy. Like don't throw like a Baby Ruth in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't throw things with other additives. I wouldn't throw Butterfingers. I wouldn't throw
Right. Anything with nougat.
yeah, anything with nougat, anything like that. I wouldn't throw those in. But you're welcome to try.
You do what you want.
I'm not going to stop you.
Right.
We met somebody who used Swiss rolls in the mash and the fermentation, and it worked fine.
It worked fantastically, I would say.
Yeah, it worked pretty damn well. So I'm not saying don't. I'm just warning you.
But if you do it right.
Yeah. Be prepared for things to go bad.
Right. Keep that utility sink on standby.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So really the two best ways to introduce chocolate into a chocolate beer is cocoa powder and cacao nibs. Cacao. And or boosh.
Wait, what kind of chocolate is boosh?
No chocolate, only Frisky Dingo.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that TV show.
That is pre-Archer.
Oh, yes, I am familiar with that. I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest Adult Swim shows that like it existed for 2 seasons, disappeared. But it's great because the main character, one of the main characters has a Pittsburgh accent.
Nice.
And it also has Killer Mike on it.
No shit.
Yeah, so there you go.
Nice. Okay.
Go find Frisky Dingo as you can. But back to the chocolate. So yes, cocoa powder and cacao nibs. Cocoa powder, you can use that pretty much any stage. And that's because it is the defatted version of cocoa. Like, there's no fat in it. You don't have to worry about things getting crazy.
Nice. It's well behaved.
Yes. Nibs are the pre-powder version of cocoa.
Okay, all right.
So they're what you get before you smash it down into a powder.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them in the mash. It's suggested that you kind of mill it up a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, mill it like a grain beforehand so it's not just a full nib in there.
Right.
But yeah, they're so concentrated that generally they're only used in either fermentation or secondary.
Okay.
And it's suggested to use about 4 ounces per 5 gallons.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
So not a lot at all.
No, that's pretty good.
But they are the most concentrated. They provide you the best flavor, the best aroma.
Bang for the buck.
Yeah, they do it all.
Sweet.
You can also make an extract if you want.
Okay.
So like you can rest them in some vodka or Everclear, and then dump a tincture.
Okay.
If you didn't want to, if you don't want to throw it in a mash bag, because usually they're used in fermentation and secondary. So all you have to do is use it like a dry hop.
Just throw it in there.
Yeah, just throw 4 ounces in a mash bag and then hang it.
Yeah.
In your beer.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the best ways to use cacao,
Right on.
chocolate. Of course, you can also add additives like vanilla extract and milk sugar, lactose.
Yes.
To help kind of bring about those other characteristics.
Bring the sweetness back.
Yeah, bring the sweetness back, bring kind of the thickness and the mouthfeel.
That's the name of my next album.
Bring the sweetness
Bring
back.
the sweetness back.
I don't even know what you play. What genre is that?
I don't know. A didgeridoo.
Casio yelling.
What was the instrument that they used to do the Star Trek theme? What was the
Theremin.
Theremin? Thank you. Yes, that will be on the bonus track.
The
theremin.
Adam's theremin album, bringing back the sweetness. Bring the sweetness back.
Yeah, buddy.
You know that's gonna get photoshopped.
That's fine.
But yeah, that's how you use chocolate and homebrews. And one final note about this: if you're using chocolate malt, you're not using chocolate.
So you're saying that's just the brand? That's just branding?
It's just the name of the malt because it's a darker roast. Mm-hmm. You know, your malt has been roasted darker, and it does impart some like flavors of chocolate, but it's not a good
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not a good replacement.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, that was educational and entertaining.
Edutaining, as we try to be.
Nailed it.
So,
yes.
Back to the Mayan Mocha Stout by Oddside Ales. Thoughts?
So, the first thing I'm noticing is the lack of heat. I had that one little episode I had the little heat creep. Mm-hmm. Not much after that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually getting a little bit more, but it's not on the back of my throat anymore. It's more like kind of on the roof of my mouth.
Really?
Yeah. I think as this beer warmed up, I started getting more flavor out of it.
Okay, I will agree that as it warmed up, it did reveal itself a little bit more. It's not a bad beer, but at the beginning of the segment, I was talking about how that has that kind of cinnamon film to it, and I didn't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of starting to mind it.
Okay.
I don't hate it, but I'm just starting to notice it more.
Right.
And that's starting to eat at me a little bit.
Yeah.
And that would kind of drive me away from drinking more than a few of these.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, it's an enjoyable beer, but I don't think it's the beer.
No, I don't think it's the beer. I think the Zocavesa is, for my money, is still a lot better.
That is the Cadillac
Yeah.
of the Mexican chocolate beers.
And strangely, that one's like really dry on the finish. This one isn't that dry on the finish.
It's not.
But it does have that
not.
filminess.
Mm-hmm.
So
it kind of, to me, the dryness is kind of in that cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a dry finish, but it has, I would say, a dry cinnamon tendency.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't think I've ever used that sentence before. I hope I never have to again, because I found I sound really pretentious saying that, and I don't like that.
Honestly, I still think I like our homebrew the best.
Pretty damn good.
It was really good. Like,
pretty
it was
damn good. We're gonna have to make that again.
Yeah, it was a thick 8. It was a thick 8%
Yeah.
with just like the right amount of chili flavor, not spice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did good. We did good.
Yeah.
I have some Carolina Reapers in the freezer. Just throwing that out there. I was gonna make some jelly with that, but I'll need one.
Things to mull over
Yills.
as we move on to
Yills.
segment 3. Yeah, this beer from Oddside, it's okay.
Yeah. It's certainly not on the bad boy list
No, it's not on the bad boy list.
at all. Let's take a break.
Miscast Commentary, a real-time movie commentary podcast featuring two best friends since they were children, Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Is that when the buddy's chasing him and he walks up the thing? Remember the old one where the lizard's chasing Kurt?
No, I want everybody to say that, like, we do have a deep connection, the two of us, but then this is the kind of bull he asks me. Is this that one where the thing gets chased by the thing and goes up the other thing with the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that one.
The answer is yes, that's the one. But, like,
I knew you knew.
Catch new episodes every Friday wherever you get your podcasts.
If you could punch any horror icon in the mouth and get away with it, which one would you punch?
tell you one which one I wouldn't. Pinhead.
Visit miscastcommentary.com.
They don't make them like this anymore, baby.
It is segment 3, episode 84. We're talking chocolate beers.
Oh, shit!
I didn't know I was getting a hype, man.
Sorry. Sorry, I'll pass the note next time.
By the way, I'm going to be your hype man for this next segment.
This next segment, I'm going to scream.
Man, I'm going to have to buy you a suit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Purple?
Duh.
Fuck yes.
How do you feel about velour?
I feel pretty good about it.
Okay.
So, quick story.
Okay.
One time, I was at a thrift shop
Okay.
in Edgewood, PA.
Okay. Yes.
Kind of on your way to Brew Gentlemen, if you know the way.
Yes.
I was in a thrift shop, and they had a bunch of velour Harlem Globetrotter track suits.
Why did you not buy all of them?
I don't know. This was many, many moons ago.
Oh man, that would have been bitchin'.
I don't know. I think it was only like 20 or so I don't think I was that cool back then.
Okay.
If that ever happens again, though, yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
It was Harlem Globetrotter branded and everything.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Man, you should have bought those.
I don't know why I didn't. I might have not had money because, again, I was 20, so.
I get that.
Not that I have money now, but. So whatever. I would figure it out. Rent them an IOU.
It's full Mitch Hedberg there.
Yeah.
I used to not have money. I still don't. But
Right. Yeah. Still don't. But I used to not have money either.
All right, what are we drinking for beer number 3 here in the chocolate episode?
All right. Third beer coming around the bend on the chocolate train.
Nope.
No? No chocolate trains?
No, that's a poop joke.
Duty. All right. third beer of the chocolate-themed episode is the Fried Ice Cream Stout
What?
by Flying Fish.
Fried ice cream.
Fried Ice Cream Stout.
Shit, yeah.
So it is an imperial stout brewed with vanilla ice cream, chocolate, and cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I believe that they introduced vanilla ice cream into the boil. And that's one of those ingredients that I warned about having too much fat in it.
Here we go.
So we'll see how this works. It is a 10.3%.
Big boy.
Yes. IBUs or nothing.
Who cares anymore?
Nothing. Who cares?
Right.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, and I imagine they used, it says they used dark chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, flavors of cinnamon and dark chocolate. I have to believe in my heart
Yes.
that they used Hershey's dark syrup
Okay.
in the boil.
It just seems right.
Yeah, like if you're making fried ice cream.
Yeah. You have to use...
Yeah. So I hope they did it right.
I like to think that they also use the hard shell stuff.
Oh, you know what? I don't know what that would do to a beer
I don't know. Let's find out.
on somebody else's equipment.
Yes. Dear Hop Nation, if you would like to donate your brewing... Holy shit. I'm watching Steve pour this out, and that is motor oil. Hot damn.
Scissor.
Yeah. Yeah, that is scissor. Yikes.
But yes, you have to address them as hop citizenry.
That's the Hop Citizens.
The hop citizenry, if you would like to donate your pot.
Brewing,
Yeah,
not recreational.
No, both.
All right, we'll send that to Steve. Yeah. I gotta take piss tests once in a while.
Fucking do it. Subliminal podcasting. Get into it, yo.
Wait, wouldn't that just be liminal? Just telling them to do it?
Yeah, but I said it quiet,
Yeah, I
so it's
know.
subliminal. I said it quiet. That's how that works, right?
Wouldn't that
You
just
just
be
say
more
things
of,
quiet.
more of an ASMR kind of thing?
Yeah. That's my ASMR weed begging. Send pod, send edibles.
And Mad Magazine.
So, first thing I noticed on this beer, there's no head.
Nope.
So, I'm assuming there's a lot of oils cutting the head off.
Yep. Off with its head.
Yeah. Interesting nose.
I can actually see where they're going with the fried ice cream smell.
Yeah, I'm getting chocolate and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting that a little bit.
Yeah. So, we had a flying fish episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much we loved. I don't think we loved them that much.
We gave them some love, but I don't believe they were top of the pops.
I think there was a lot of Jersey bashing that episode.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm
kind of bad about that.
I'm prefacing all this before we really get into drinking the beer because this could be the redemption.
It could, or it could be the continuation.
Right. So we'll see.
But just like whenever I drink an IPA, we have to go in with an open mind.
Yes, I have an open mind because I like fried ice cream a lot.
I mean, that's a pretty big sell. That's
an easy sell for me.
Gonna draw you right in.
But we'll see how this goes.
Let's do it.
On with the show.
It has a really rich mouthfeel to it. It's really rich, borderline creamy, I would say.
Totally agree. Are you getting the same aftertaste I'm getting?
I don't know. What aftertaste are you getting?
I'm getting a lot of rich vanilla flavor on the back end. Like, it tastes like ice cream.
Yeah, I like this beer.
I like it, but I don't know that I love it yet.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And maybe it has to warm up or something.
Perhaps.
But I feel like everything before the vanilla aftertaste is like very minimal. I don't get a lot of chocolate. I don't get a lot of cinnamon. I don't get a lot of the other things. It just kind of tastes like a regular stout. And honestly, it tastes a little thin to me.
See, to me, I don't get that thinness. I think it's a big-bodied beer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get much in the way of the cinnamon.
Okay, so we're in agreement on that.
Yeah, I don't get much of the cinnamon. If they just called it fried ice cream and didn't mention anything about the chocolate or the cinnamon or anything like that, I don't think I would notice.
Well, you can't call it fried ice cream and not have cinnamon, I think. But if they just called it sundae?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Or if they just called it, an ice cream stout.
Right, yeah. Yeah, if you just call it a sundae stout, I'm down.
Yeah.
Good thing that's coming in a big pint can so I can figure out.
It gives you time to analyze a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I love it yet, but I might. I might wind up loving it. We'll see.
Man. This is going to be the most stressful prom for you ever. I don't know if I love you, but let's just wait and see. I certainly don't hate this beer. I like this beer.
No, I don't hate the beer at all.
It is not on the bad boy list. I like this beer. I think it's a good beer. Let's continue to drink it, see if it's a great beer. I've seen good turn to great, and I've seen great turn to good, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I like to think it makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
All right.
I mean, you just last segment, you got a little bit tired of drinking the Mocha.
Right.
Like,
we haven't done this in a while, and with Halloween behind us, that means we are rushing full steam ahead into the holiday season.
boo.
Or yay.
Or yay, depending on your family situation.
Or just your general outlook. And there are some holidays you may like, some holidays you don't like.
Right.
You know,
I like Thanksgiving.
I do too. Veterans Day doesn't do much for me.
Really?
Eh.
All right. I don't know.
I'm not against it.
Good. Jesus.
So we are fully into the holiday season. So obviously we just got through Halloween. You got Thanksgiving. You got Veterans Day. You got Christmas. You got New Year's.
Then Valentine's.
There's Valentine's Day. St. Patty's Day I think is a bit too far.
Okay.
They've got their own covered.
Plus, don't forget the other holidays like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa.
Tet.
I don't know that we really celebrate that one. That one was kind of bad for us.
Still on the list.
Still on the list. I'm just saying in
Right.
general.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a bit offensive.
Yeah. Ah, Christ almighty. That's a ooh. Eee. Some old man in his 70s just like cringed really hard and shook his fist at the radio or phone or whatever it is he listens on.
It's transistor radio.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we on ham radio? We're on a lot of platforms.
We can be. What the hell? Why not?
We're on a lot
I
of
could put up an
platforms.
antenna. There's laws that support that.
Yeah. But okay, so we have all these holidays coming up.
Yes. So rather than try to have beers that are for each specific holiday, you know how you will have Christmas beers.
Right. Pumpkin beers are for Halloween.
Right.
Christmas beers are the chocolate orange and the spices and the nutmegs.
Yeah, all that jazz. We are going to go to the Build-A-Beer shop, and we are going to make a one beer for all.
All-inclusive holiday.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So we have to design a beer that will be able to support. I'll even backtrack to Halloween. I'll include Halloween. We gotta get Halloween.
Yeah.
We gotta get Thanksgiving.
I think you have to go to Halloween because that Christmas overlaps Halloween.
Oh yeah.
So like the fact that Christmas decorations were up at the same time as Halloween, well, in the stores, I mean.
Yeah, it's New Thanks. What is it? New Thanks Hallow Christmas Ween.
Right. So you have to include Halloween. So we
Yes.
can start there. And you want to go as far as Valentine's, maybe?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's appropriate. Now here's a question.
Yes.
Which comes first in the calendar year? Valentine's Day or President's Day?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Does that change? It changes, right?
Well, let's go for whichever is longer. Let's include them both.
Okay.
All
I
right.
feel like President's Day, isn't that the 16th? Is the President's Day?
It's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Because I thought, I don't
Or
know.
isn't it like the third Monday of the month, something like that?
Right. I thought President's Day changed.
Yeah, it's always a Monday.
Yeah, okay.
It's always a Monday.
Okay. So let's include President's Day. So Halloween to President's Day.
Yes. Halloween to President's Day.
All right.
We need to start with the base beer.
Okay.
Now, it is cold up here in the Northeast,
Right.
up here in the mountains.
Yeah. Sounds like we're going to do a stout again.
It is apropos for this episode.
It could be a barley wine.
It could be. You know what? I don't really jam on barley wines that much.
All right. So you want something you can drink, so stout.
Yes. Yeah. I'm half of this operation right now. So we're going with a stout or a porter. We could even go porter.
I don't think we can go porter.
Why not?
Because of all the things we have to include. I just think by nature it's going to wind up being huge.
So with that in mind, it will now be a stout.
Yeah. Probably an imperial.
It will be an imperial stout.
I already know.
What?
To keep with the President's Day theme, it can be a Russian imperial.
Ah.
Nice. Got him. Fucking burned him.
Nice.
That piece of shit.
Wow. we're on a list now.
You are now. I've been on a bunch.
Yeah, we're on another one now.
No, it's the same one.
Oh, okay. He's there again.
Right. They just check and they go, oh, him, and then add Adam.
Oh, yeah. And another one.
That one.
It'll be a Russian Imperial Stout.
Yes.
We'll just take our President's Day now. You know what we should do? We should use some sort of cherry
Okay.
wood.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that in the past with the George Washington.
So let's
beer,
do that
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So it's a Russian Imperial Stout on cherry wood.
On cherry wood.
Mm-hmm.
President's Day also celebrates Lincoln.
Yes.
So he's from Nebraska.
No, he's not.
Lincoln, Nebraska. It was named after. He's from Illinois.
There you go. The land of Lincoln.
Yeah. Right. What is Illinois known for?
Chicago Bears.
Bears,
Duh.
sausage, pierogies,
And heart attacks.
heart attacks,
That makes about a baker's dozen.
socks, Dennehy.
Socks are from North Carolina.
What?
North Carolina is where the majority of socks in America are made.
Oh, Jesus. What the fuck facts? This is not what I'm into. I'm talking about the White Sox.
Oh, I wasn't. Let's talk. Well, actually, I was kind of talking about White Sox because they're made out of cotton. All right, moving along from sock talk.
Ugh.
Sock talk.
Sock talk sucks.
Okay, we got President's Day taken care of.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get back on that Lincoln train.
No.
Okay.
I mean, being that I can only think of sausage and kibasi and things like that.
Heart attacks.
Heart attacks. Bulls. Bulls.
Yes. Doubles.
Bulls. Dennis Farina.
So we got that covered. That means that we got to take care of Valentine's Day.
Right.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some of them candy hearts.
Yeah.
And we're going to throw them in a bowl.
Ugh.
Covered.
Gross.
Covered.
You could go chocolate. Why didn't you just go chocolate?
Because I didn't think of that.
Chocolate's... How do you not think of that? Chocolate's way more... Fuck, man. You could even go, like, rose petals.
Oh.
And do, like, some kind of fruity rose water nonsense.
Let's do fruity rose water nonsense.
Okay.
Instead, we're throwing some rose petals in there.
All right.
And we're gonna dry hop with rose petals. So we're gonna dry rose.
Okay.
Like 8 of them.
All right.
Okay. Valentine's Day is taken care of. I guess we're just kind of working backwards. What the hell? Screw
I don't
it.
know. That's just what happened.
That's just what's happening. The previous one, holiday, I'm thinking it's New Year's.
Okay.
Here's what we're gonna do with that one. I already got this one on lockdown.
All right.
What drink do you usually drink at midnight when you celebrate New Year's?
Champagne.
With that in mind, we're gonna use the champagne yeast.
All right. So
Gonna be
brute stout.
Yep.
Oh, brute stout. All
Brute
right.
stout. That's a mean ass beer. A brute stout.
Is it? I just think it's like a really dry stout. I don't think it's mean.
No, just the name of it.
Yeah.
A brute stout.
Brutal.
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah. Brutal was fun. Check it out next year.
Yeah, I think we make it a brute stout. Christmas, that's a big one. That's pretty easy to address. I think.
You skipped over Kwanzaa.
I did.
Kwanzaa comes in between Christmas and New Year's.
You are correct. You got that one covered?
So Kwanzaa is kind of known for its feast.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of a way to integrate that.
Do they have any particular dishes at the feast?
So what I've kind of learned about the Kwanzaa feast is it's focused on celebrating African culture, African ancestors, as well as just the different cultures that were spread throughout America and the islands like the Caribbean islands and Jamaica.
Yeah.
So the feast generally includes like jerk chicken and sweet potatoes and a lot of things that I'm really into.
Yeah.
Catfish, so like you get a little bit of Creole cooking, you get a little bit of soul food, you get a little bit of Caribbean food. Yeah, it's the best of everything.
Yeah.
I've not been to a Kwanzaa feast, but I would wreck it up.
I have a feeling that you would greatly enjoy yourself. I would feel like I would greatly enjoy myself.
Yes, but that's kind of what we're working with.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe sweet potato.
I like the sweet potato. That usually works well with the stout. Now hear me out. Hear me out. If we're gonna go into the Caribbean side of things, maybe even into the jerk chicken.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. I do put jerk seasoning on everything.
Right. So. Would that be a good opportunity to spice this up a little bit? Use a little bit of jerk seasoning in there.
We already have rose in there, and we have cherry sitting on cherry wood.
Is that too much?
It might be too much.
Okay.
But then again, who cares? It's all inclusive.
That's a solid point.
Caribbean jerk is really good, and I mean it has a somewhat of a sweety tang to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fuck it goes in.
Okay, all right. Jerk chicken, you're coming with us.
I feel like the roses from Valentine's Day, they don't really hit the register.
They're not going to upset the apple cart.
Yeah, it's just saying it's in there, so it's in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's been addressed. Move along.
Yeah, so all right. So we got this jerk chicken spice in there.
So
back to Christmas.
Back to
Christmas.
We
Work it back.
We are at Christmas, December 25. Here's my idea for that. Since we are going to be quote unquote dry hopping with rose petals, what do you think about putting some spruce pine in there? Some spruce needles.
Yeah, okay.
That'll take care of the Christmas tree.
That's fine. I actually noticed my last trip to Vintage Estates, I noticed a lot of beers are coming in with the spruce.
Yes, I've noticed an uptick in that as well.
Yeah. It kind of harkens back to a couple episodes ago when we were talking about trends that coming out of the Great American Beer Festival, and we were talking about how a lot more people are using herbs and other things like botanicals, and it seems like a lot more people are using spruce. So that's your new Christmas trend.
Right. I would just like to point out that we were some of the front runners in that.
We talked about it first. We had a spruce episode.
Damn right.
Everybody else is a jerk.
That's right. Don't add us. That takes care of Christmas.
Christmas is done.
I believe we need to go into Hanukkah now.
Yes. This is where it gets tricky again. I don't know. They have the challah bread.
So here's my thought, and I think this is on base, but here's my thought, and hear me out. Whenever we add the rose petals and the spruce tips, I think it might be appropriate for that to be in the fermentation for 8 days.
Okay. I mean, I feel like maybe we should pick a food that's typically served at Hanukkah.
Why not both?
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, we can do both.
Why not both?
Yeah, we can do both. It's just I feel like we should represent.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They
We should represent the Jewish people with their food, not just use, Christmas ingredients for 8 days.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that's
and now that we've kind of fleshed it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So, I mean, potato pancakes are pretty popular around the time.
Yeah?
We're already on the train with the jerk chicken spice.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just also add kind of brisket rub to it as well?
Kind of like the Q?
Yeah.
By Dukla?
Yeah, by Dukla.
Okay.
Yeah, make it real savory.
Yeah.
Make it a savory beer.
This is going to be a big beer.
Savory beer for a change.
And I'm good with that.
So we're talking spruce tips, jerk chicken spice, and brisket rub.
Yeah.
For 8 days.
Can't forget the rose petals.
And the rose petals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought maybe that'd be dry hop not as long.
We can go...
Because February is short.
All right, you know what? That's a good enough excuse. We'll go with 2 days on that one.
Right.
No, I like that.
Okay.
I think we got a winner on that.
Making a real savory beer.
Yes.
A lot of vegetation. Botanicals.
It's a botanical beer.
Botanicals.
So that does kick us to Thanksgiving.
Back to Thanksgiving.
So we'll put our sweet potatoes
Sweet taters go in.
Done. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
Is there
those go in the boil.
Yeah.
Or the mash. You can do both.
Why not both?
Who cares?
Screw it. It's our beer.
Yeah, who cares?
We can do what we want.
And now we're all the way back to Halloween.
Yes.
Do we do pumpkins?
I kind of want to avoid pumpkin.
Okay. Do we do chocolate?
Could.
Or there was a lot of social media buzz about people making jack-o'-lanterns out of pineapples.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. We can throw
obnoxiously. I'm just saying.
We can throw a little pineapple
putting it there.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Non-traditional Halloween.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I mean,
screw it. We'll put some pineapple in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, pineapple does work with jerk spice. So.
Did we miss anyone? Any of them?
Oh, we missed a lot of small holidays, I'm sure.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
You know what? I'm not going to go down the path because if I keep mentioning them, I know I'm going to miss more.
Right. You're going to make somebody mad.
Right. Exactly. And I don't want to do that.
If we missed anything, and if you have any ideas about what should go in, just email us at hopnationusa@gmail.com. Tell us what we missed. Tell us what should be in the beer.
Yeah.
I think we made a pretty good savory stout for the holidays.
I think we'll be okay with what we got.
Get you through the holidays.
That's the other thing, is getting you through the holidays.
It'll get you through the holidays.
Yeah, I think we got us a winner.
Savory, but with a really dry finish because of the brute.
But it's still got a little bit of fruitiness in there with that pineapple.
Right. And it's a stout.
Yeah.
Just might be crazy enough to work.
I do want to try it, I'll be honest.
Oh, I'll try anything. I don't give a shit.
Okay, then.
I drink fucking Steel Reserve on volunteering. So
On purpose.
yeah, I do that to myself. So if somebody made an all-inclusive holiday stout, yeah, I'll be trying that too. I don't give a shit.
So what do you say we get back to this fried ice cream stout by Flying Fish out of New Jersey? That's the Garden State.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It still hasn't crossed the threshold of I love it.
But you like it?
And I do want some more of it.
I'm telling you what, now that it's warmed up a little bit, I like it more.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's warmed up. I mean, that vanilla aftertaste is really different from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the beer isn't that different. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's the one thing that makes this beer stand out from the rest of the chocolate stouts in the world.
Is the vanilla.
Yeah.
Which is kind of not the point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the point of the beer is fried ice cream. We just brought it on because it has chocolate in it.
Right. I like the beer. I'll say it. I'll say it.
Okay.
It's a good beer.
That's a brave stance.
Damn it. So what do you say we go to the podium?
Sure.
You want to go first? Great.
I think I'm going to go and put the Mayan Mocha Stout in the bronze position. It's a pretty good beer, but it had that filminess to it, and it was thin. And I don't know, I just didn't love the execution. The other thing is that it's called a Mayan Mocha Stout. Did you taste coffee?
Not really.
Yeah, neither did I. So
Holy shit, you're right.
yeah, it doesn't really deliver that way.
Ah, damn it.
It's not a terrible beer, but like there's a lot of words you can just cut off the label. Yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't deliver the same way as some other beers does. Like I said, the Zokavesa tops it easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think it was the best one we had tonight. But still worth drinking.
Mm.
Silver I'm going to give to the Fried Ice Cream Stout by Flying Fish. It's pretty good. It's got that really unique vanilla aftertaste that tastes like vanilla ice cream. I don't get much from the cinnamon in the taste department. It has a little bit on the nose, but I don't know. I wish more for this beer. Like we already said, again, this is another beer where like you could cut some words off the label. It could just be called a Sunday Stout. Whenever they put cinnamon in, just don't. You don't need to because it doesn't appear in the beer. It doesn't have the rich chocolatiness either. It needs to amp the other two things up to make me really think of fried ice cream. But it's still a pretty decent beer, and it's still pretty big. So, points to that. Gold, though, goes to the Evil Genius. I'll have what she's having. That is a really good chocolate beer. And it also is a beer that can cut words off the label. You don't need to say it's a hazelnut beer, because it don't really taste the hazelnut. But it is the most richest, sweetest chocolate flavor without being overbearing in a way. Like, you never get really sick of drinking it, I don't think. Adam had that kind of problem with the Mayan Mocha Stout. He got a little sick of drinking it. I feel like I might get a little sick of drinking the fried ice cream stout because eventually the flavor, I don't know, you get like palate fatigue from it. It's so much. But I'll have what she's having. It doesn't do that to you for whatever reason. It's just a really good kind of dessert beer. I would probably have 2 of that to every one I would have of the other ones. That's the best way I can think of it. But overall, yeah, none of these beers you can really drink a lot of. Mm-hmm. But still, the Evil Genius is tops. For me.
I am actually going to go in the same exact order that Steve gave. In the bronze medal, I'm going to put that Odd Side Ales, the Mayan Mocha Stout. I completely agree in the fatigue factor on that one. I agree on there's too many words on the label. And that cinnamon film I was talking about a little bit there, that got a little tiresome. Is it a bad beer? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. If you see it out and about, give it a try. You might like it. Chances are you will like it. It just didn't quite stack up to the other two that we had here. The fried ice cream by Flying Fish, I believe that is the best beer that I've had by Flying Fish. In fact, I will stamp that, saying that to this day, this is the best beer that I've had by Flying Fish. It is a rich beer. It is a big beer, over 10%. So no surprise there. It's going to be a big beer. Again, too many words on the label. If you just called it, a vanilla stout or something like that, or a vanilla ice cream stout, great. I think you probably would have gotten a little more points if I'm being perfectly honest.
Probably. But they also wouldn't have been on the chocolate show.
True. Very true. But it's a good beer.
Yeah.
If you see it, get it.
Yeah, New Jersey. Sorry to stop you.
Go ahead.
But, I kind of feel like New Jersey kind of needs this redemption. So, people need to go try this one.
Yes.
Because on top of us not being super impressed with Flying Fish on the episode that we had, if you also remember, Sam was running down pretty much every other brewery.
Yes. New Jersey does not necessarily have the greatest reputation on this show when it comes to craft beer.
And I don't think they have the best reputation in general. Right.
However, this fried ice cream beer by Flying Fish is a redemptive beer.
Yes.
It is a very redemptive beer. I'll admit, after that Flying Fish episode, wasn't too keen on having them on the show again. I got no problem with them coming out with something else. I'd be willing to try it simply because I know they can execute beer properly. They can make a good beer. They can make a big beer. They can make a tasteful beer. And they have done that.
Tasty, not tasteful. I don't think making fried ice cream as a beer is tasteful.
No, that's a good point.
That's not classy at all.
That's point made.
Doesn't make it bad, but
that is true. That is not a white glove beer.
No.
But that's Evil Genius beer. I'll have what she's having. Yeah. This took the gold. Big beer, big drinker, big taste, big flavor. I liked it a lot. If I had all three of these set up right in front of me and I had to grab a full one, I'd probably go for the Evil Genius. Flying Fish, not far behind. Evil Genius takes the gold medal on this one, and it's a clean sweep on episode 84. So
between two hosts.
So way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go. Yeah, way to go, Evil Genius.
Yeah. No, that's pretty killer.
Yeah.
Pretty killer by them. All right. If you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and you'll be able to find us. If you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on Stitcher, Podbean, Google Music Play, and iTunes, as well as a whole shitload of other podcatchers that I don't even have a list for anymore.
It just keeps growing.
We just keep getting added to things, and people just absorb us into their... We're on Spotify. I should mention that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's kind of a bigger one, but yeah, you can find us on all those platforms. If you're on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review because...
We are a 6-star show, but they only let us use 5.
And those 5 stars help let other people know what a good show we are, as well as you just telling your friends to listen to the Hop Nation USA podcast. And feel free to check out hopnationusa.com for features and reviews, things you won't find on the show. And you can email us any questions and anything else that you want to at hopnationusa@gmail.com. Adam, do you have anything else?
I do not. A good episode. I just would like to reiterate the thanks that we had it out there in segment 1. So thank you to all the loyal listeners. Thank you to the brewers of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh area. Let's keep doing this. This is a good time.
Yes, we certainly will, and we'll have more breweries coming up. We're in talks with people.
Oh, yes.
If you have... This is another thing. If you have a brewery out there that we haven't featured, that we haven't talked to or anything, email us. Let us know. Let us know who you want us to talk to.
Right.
Who you want to hear from.
We're here to help you.
As long as it's within reasonable distance.
Yeah. I'm not flying to Asheville, North Carolina. Unless somebody's willing to pay.
Unless you pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a really rich listener, if we have one of those angel investors out there.
Yeah.
And you want to fly us to breweries, yeah. We're down.
Let's do it. I got vacation days.
I'm my own boss. I set my days. But yeah, we'll do that. So that's that. That's episode 84 in the books.
Yes.
We'll be back with episode 85. I have no hints to drop because I don't know what we're doing yet.
Yeah, I don't either. And I don't either.
I don't either, and I don't either. Thanks.
So, thanks, Hop Nation. We'll see you next week. Well, we already have a video platform.
Right.
It's called cable TV.
That's right.
Snap.
In your fucking face, XOTV. Suck my dick. I got a cable show.